I can also have different videos on the website. I can also have different pricing for the product and see which one I make a higher profit on. So yes, you can figure out how many people go on the website, and you can figure out what is the most effective type of media and type of wording to use. Yes?
Do you know anybody for similar type of product?
Say it again?
Do you know anyone for similar type of product?
Do I know if there's another product like CellArmor on the market? Yes. There are products that are similar to it, nothing that is exactly the same. Even if there was something that was exactly similar to it, I could still make a profit off the product because I believe I'm advertising it and setting it up better. So I'm using a better video, I'm using better graphics, etc. And that's something that I highly believe in. I'm not really a marketing person, I'm more of a, I have a cool idea, let me build this and see what happens. Some people are more into marketing and they would do an even better job than me. But whenever I have an idea, my first instinct is, even if somebody else already built it, I can build it better, I can build it better, I can build it faster, I can get the message across to people better. And this applies to all of you as well. It takes a little bit, I don't want to say arrogance, but it takes a little bit of arrogance to come up with an idea and to say, I'm going to do this better than anybody else who's already doing it. But most likely, you will. Because they will do some other things better, but you will do some personal things better than they will, and you will corner a portion of the market that they won't. Another example of a type of website like this is the person who helped me build this. His name is Max. The reason I asked him to do it is he recently wrote a book, and he made a website exactly like this for his book. So other things that are really easy to sell online are books. CellArmor requires very little manufacturing. The product I built before CellArmor is called BoardBrake. It's an attachable brake for longboards and skateboards. And that one I didn't end up manufacturing because it requires injection molding and metal casting. And I would either have to pay a lot of money to do that in the US or organize that overseas. I am not personally passionate about manufacturing, which is why I didn't go that route. Right now I'm working to try and license it to longboard manufacturers in San Diego. So hopefully over the summer I'll go there and do that. I wrote a provisional patent for it, which I sent you guys a link on how to do. And it's really quick and easy to do. And hopefully I'll succeed in licensing that one because I'd rather not manufacture it. With regards to iPhone apps or websites, they're beautiful because you don't need to manufacture anything. Once you build them, you can just push them out. Same thing for books, which is where I got this tangent from. If you write a book and sell an ebook, it costs you nothing to sell an ebook. Each unit is zero cost for you, but you can sell it for however much. So if you build a website and sell a book, if you're an expert in anything, whether it be, I don't know, fishing or playing lacrosse or getting into an Ivy League college, you can write a book about it, and oftentimes, or at least some people will buy it, and then you can get rich. But more importantly, you can also teach people how to do something that you love, which really the reason why I do a lot of this stuff is I really get excited about the ideas that I do, and so I just make sure to follow through on them. Any other questions? Yes?
As far as the advertising on Google goes, I've done this, and if you search, do cell phones cause cancer, one of the top results is the National Cancer Institute saying there's no evidence that cell phones cause cancer. So how do you think that's going to affect your plans on advertising?
Great question. That's interesting. I did not know that advertising scheme happens. Not scheme. Advertising thing happens. So I don't claim that cell phone radiation is decisively bad for you, right? There's research on either side of the table, so I just give it to people as an option for protection. And for every company, you'll have challenges, right? In the case of BoardBrake, if somebody falls off their board or doesn't stop and gets injured, I have some sort of liability there. To avoid that, you can build a limited liability, or you can incorporate a limited liability company, or really any type of company, not any type of company, an appropriate type of company that has a corporate veil. Work with a lawyer, or just make sure that you mitigate the risk however you can. In this case, people just won't buy the product. In that case, they don't believe that radiation is a thing, which, okay, some people will. Yes?
So after somebody buys your product, who takes care of packing and shipping it? Like you stay in your office waiting for somebody to buy it, then you go to your place and pack and ship it, or?
So I want to stay around in my dorm room and take my classes and try to get A's. In the meantime, at least in the small scale, the dry cleaners that I'm now trying to work with is going to do the actual cutting and the hemming and produce the product. I'm just going to leave them with the fabrics. They're going to get an email every time there's an order. So they'll see it in the email and be like, oh, there's an order, let me make this. They're also going to have the cardstock out of which we make the packages and a bunch of envelopes that I'll leave them with. So they're going to cut it, make the packaging, put it in the packaging, put it in the envelope, and drop it off in the post office. So I need to do nothing. Once this gets to a higher level, hopefully, and more people purchase it, I'm probably going to contract with a small manufacturer in New York, or New Hampshire, or wherever. Could be in Providence as well, hopefully. Then the governor will be happy that I make jobs. And have them do exactly the same thing, just on a higher scale. And if it really explodes, then I can have it happen overseas. Cool. So other cool general things that are really great to talk about is how to recruit a team. So in this case, for CellArmor in particular, I mentioned that I worked with two people. Max, who helped me build the website, and Ingrid from RISD, who helped me actually make the thing look good, and make the packaging, and take the pictures. Both of them helped me because I was passionate about the idea, and because I asked them to help me. If you do stuff alone, it gets boring, and it's less efficient. It's really, really helpful to delegate work. So another example is from BoardBrake. When I initially came up with the idea for BoardBrake, I was a freshman at Brown. I had never taken an engineering class, and I just had this idea for this attachable brake for longboards that I sketched, and I went online to see if there's anything that I could buy, and nothing was available for me to buy, and there was no patent on it. You can go to Google patent search to search if there's patents, or at least no patent that was exactly what I was trying to build. There were similar patents. Then what I did was come here to the lobby at Barris and Holly, and every single engineer that I saw walk by, or just any person I saw walk by, I assumed was an engineer. I was like, hey, have you taken a mechanical engineering class? Do you know anything about building a product? He was like, a little bit. Some people say that. And I was like, cool. I have this awesome idea for an attachable brake for longboards. Could you help me build it? I did it more gradually. And most people were like, cool idea. I don't have time for this. Good luck. And I did this for about 14 different engineers. And every time I got the answer, this is a really cool idea, I wish I could help you, but I don't have time. The 15th, and every time somebody told me no, this is a really useful thing. Every time somebody said no, I was like, okay. And he was like, gonna go. And I was like, wait, can you give me the phone number and name of 2 people who you think could help me the most in this? And that way, I learned about more people who could help me, and narrowed down to the people who were the best for helping me in this product. And at the end, when I got to the 14th engineer, he also said, and he knew exactly what he was doing, because by this point I found the perfect person. Great idea, I don't have time for this, good luck. And he gave me two names. And the 15th engineer I spoke with was like, cool idea, I actually have a free weekend, I can help you make a computer-aided model of your idea. And that got me going. So I had that, and that really helped me start working on it. And then 2 weeks later, I ended up meeting a mentor from the design lab at MIT, and ended up going to his house for Thanksgiving. And he taught me how to rapid prototype, and actually built a prototype in his house. And again, he just did it because he was interested in helping me. There was no exchange of funds or anything. It's just, cool idea, I want to see this happen, I like doing this kind of stuff, let me help you. And you'd be amazed at how often people will do that for you. For example, if you ask me to help you in anything, I will. I will give you time and try to help you build something, or try to help you make something, or try to help you figure out how to do something. And really, anybody who likes to do this kind of stuff will. Because people who actively build stuff, or make stuff, or draw stuff, or make companies, do it because they love to. And they want other people to do it as well, and they want to help other people. So it never hurts to ask. So ask people for help. So that's my 2-bit on how to recruit a team and how to get help from other people. Oftentimes, people who will help you will end up helping you so much that they actually become part of the team, and you'll end up giving them equity, which is the best, because then you're not working alone, and there's other people involved, and they'll go out and talk to customers, or sign another person to your team, or go find a lawyer, and you're like, yes, you did this. I was so not looking forward to doing it, and you did it, and then it's inspiring. Cool. Any other questions that I can answer? If not, I'll move on to something else. Sweet. So that was recruiting a team. I'm going to talk quickly about minimum viable products. There's a really awesome concept that is minimum viable products, which is basically when you have an idea, build the most basic version of that idea that can convey to people what that idea is and does not require a lot of work from you. So in the case of, let's say, an iPhone app, instead of actually going to code it, just take a piece of paper and draw what the iPhone app would look like. Draw the buttons, draw the layout, and then show what every button would do if you click it, and then give it to as many people as possible and see what the reactions are. And for BoardBrake, for example, what I did is while I was thinking about building it, I had like an image of the computer-aided model on my phone. And every time I was in the main green or in another school, and I saw a longboard walk by, board by, I would stop the conversation I was having with whoever it was, and I would sprint after them, and I would stop them and go, wait, how do you stop your longboard? And he'd be like, well, I dragged my foot on the floor. I was like, is that efficient? Would you like buy a brake for longboards if there was one? And they're like, huh, maybe, potentially. Or like, would you buy this? And how much would you pay for it? And like, after doing that with like 101 people, turned out 30% of people would actually purchase this for an average price of $35. So that gave me the idea of like, how much people would pay for it. So that was like customer validation. And in this case, really all I had was first a sketch, and then a computer version of that sketch. And then I ended up like 3D printing it and started making prototype physical. But that gave me an idea of if this was a viable idea. It also made it really easy for me to get like investors interested and get other people interested in helping me out with the product if I wanted to recruit a team. I did want to recruit a team, but I ended up stopping working on a particular product. I think someone who can give more insightful advice is here, so I'm going to let him talk instead of me, unless there is any final questions. Cool. Thank you for listening. Oh, and my name is Cliff Weitzman. You can email me at cliff_weitzman@brown.edu or find me on Facebook. I love helping anyone with anything regarding this stuff, so reach out.
Don't go away. Don't go away. Don't go away. Back him up.
Yeah, please, yeah.
I'm no problem.
I figured.
Should I start?
Yeah, okay. This is my, I had to look.